2020, during the COVID pandemic, I went back to practicing law because of cases like Zohar's case. Zohar is actually the one that got me back into practicing law, but afterwards I started also taking other cases that have a specific characterization. And the cases I started working on are cases where the state, the judges, the workers of different authorities decide that someone is not good enough to raise their children, not good enough to decide how to educate their children. These are the sort of cases that I'm treating, and Zohar's case was really the first person that I knew personally that went through something like this. I heard about her through her activism during COVID. We were both activists in trying to awake the people, telling them that they shouldn't listen to all these draconian measures that were put on us. And the problem was that the incitement against activists like us was so strong that it brought about really bad, awful situations like Zohar's, where they actually separate a mother from her children based on nothing but accusations that she's crazy because she's an anti-vaxxer and because she says all kinds of bad things about the government or even about the justice system. So based on her opinions and based on her activism, that means she's not a good parent. And when I saw that this is incitement that was already happening and creating a lot of damage in society and also to me, but when I saw how deep it gets, that it cuts into the family and separates parents from children, I felt like this was a calling for me to go there. And me and Zohar became friends, first of all. Before I was even practicing law, I was just supporting her. And with time, it was clear that it's a calling for me to use my skills also. So at some point, I also represented her in her case, not in the main case, but in a separate minor part that was related to it. And very recently, after almost 3 years that she's not in touch with her children, I started representing her in the main case. Actually, I feel this regret that it took so long. Like, I feel like maybe I needed to understand this before, that this is what I'm asked to do. But this is how life went. And I was always there to support her as a friend through everything she went through, and she went through a lot. And through her story, I heard about so many others. And this is what we're here for. This is a convention. The place me and you are meeting right now is actually a convention for people like this, for people who the government has taken their children away without any justification, no violence, no neglect, just aflaya, how do you say it in English? Discrimination against them for different reasons. One's poor, one has some sort of background of mental illness, but he's perfectly fine and capable, and all kinds of discriminations that are used as justification to say this person can't be a good parent. We should take their children away from them. And for me, you can see I'm a person of faith. And I'm also connected to the Rastafari. This is the colors. I'm a Jew and a Hebrew and an Israeli, but I'm connected to the Rastafari movement. And the reason I'm connected is because I feel like Rasta talk a lot about justice. You know, they talk about peace and they talk about love, but they also talk about justice. And what we're missing, I feel, in this world today and also in Israel is the justice part. Because the love and the peace is there. There's so many amazing people that just want to bring more peace and love. But injustice is what's stopping this. So we have to stop the injustice so that the love and peace can flow. And this means not only focusing on the easy side, I call it, of talking about peace and talking about love, but also talking and acting about justice and helping the people that are being totally destroyed, their lives and their souls. Listen, do you know how many people in Zohar's case, situation commit suicide? It's not something that we can just look at as like, oh, okay, so she looks fine. She looks fine because she's strong, because we were supporting her community. But people without support in a situation like her, they can get to a place of suicide. It's destroying people's lives. What's worse than taking someone's children? It's unimaginable. So for me, this is my mission. This is what God has sent me to do. Okay, because in the tradition that I learned, what you receive in life, the people you meet, this is God's mission for you. So if this is the mission, this is the people I met, if I met Zohar, if I heard about all these other people through her, then this is my mission now. And this is also my calling for everyone, to start putting energy into justice, and then love and peace will flow. But first we have to give a moment. You know, we want to celebrate the love and peace forever, but we need to give a moment in time for justice, but really full justice, and then everything will flow. We have to give this moment. We can't ignore it. We can't ignore justice. And this is also something that the Torah, the Tanakh talks a lot about. Peace and justice together.